Guys, welcome back to another video. Now, if you are a healthcare professional who's planning to come into the UK, one of the biggest questions on your mind is, Nikita, have you made a roadmap for us? And I know there are many of y'all who are new subscribers to my channel or have started following me recently, not only on YouTube but on Instagram. So today's video is going to answer this exact question. I am going to lay down the process right from start to end on how you can start working in the UK as a healthcare professional, especially if you are governed by the HCPC. So let's not waste any more time and get into this video. But if you do not know me, my name is Nikita and I make weekly videos about working in the UK, getting a job and starting to work as a healthcare professional. And if you haven't already followed me on Instagram, now's your turn to do so. My handle is physiotherapy in UK. So let's get right into the first step. So the first thing you want to do is actually check which registration body you should be registering with. So for example, if you are a physio, if you are an OT, if you are a speech and language therapist, if you are an ODP, which is an operation department practitioner, if you are an audiologist, there are very clear-cut guidelines that ask you to register with the HCPC. Now again, HCPC governs nearly 15 professionals. So again, if you are one of these, you can obviously register directly with them. If you are confused about if you are really going to be governed by the HCPC or not, I'll leave the link for that for you to check in the description box below. So definitely have a check and see if you need to register with the HCPC. Now firstly, once you've identified that you need to register with the HCPC, the second thing I want you to do is think about your English language requirements. Now, if you are an international graduate, that is, you've studied in a country outside UK, then you need to make sure that you have proved your English language proficiency. Now, I've made loads of videos about what is really important and which tests you need to give, but I would recommend giving the IELTS or the computer-based TOEFL tests. Now, again, if you want to know what are the minimum scores that you need, again, there's a detailed video for all of this, and I'll leave the link for that somewhere above right now, but also in the description below, so don't forget to check that out. But once you've completed the second step, which is proving your English language requirements, the third step for you to do is simultaneously start thinking about what documents you need. I've made a detailed video again about all of the documents you need, but just to sum it up, the two major categories of documents you need is first in terms of proof of identity, and the second is in terms of qualification proofs. In terms of proof of identity, the first document you're going to need is your passport to check whether you are who you are. And the second document you're going to need is proof of address. There are several documents that come under it, and I have made a detailed video about it, so please do check that out. In terms of qualification proof, what you need to do is submit your proof of primary qualification, which is your degree certificate. I would also recommend submitting your mark sheets for each and every year, your internship completion certificate, your transcripts, which is optional, so it's not mandatory to submit your transcripts, but if you do have it, I would highly recommend submitting that, and any other documents that you might have from your bachelor days or from your master days. Now, once you've actually collected all of your documents, step number 4 is actually making an HCPC application. Now, as most of you all know, last year, somewhere mid throughout the year, HCPC transitioned from paper-based applications to online applications. So as of right now, in 2024, HCPC only accepts online applications. The process for this is straightforward. I'll again leave the link for the online application form in the description box below. But as you can see right here, I've made a detailed video about how you are meant to fill the online application form. Now, this is a very detailed video. As you can see, it's very long, but what will really help is you follow through the steps, because I list down exactly how you're meant to be filling the form. Again, at the end of it, if some of you have a question saying, Nikita, how detailed do I need to be? What are some of the things I need to add? Please do not forget to book a one-to-one session with me, and I will talk you through the process, and I will list down a template. But for those of y'all who don't know, if you are a physio, you need to be submitting case studies at this point, because HCPC has gotten much more stricter and it has tightened the gaps in the evaluation of the online applications. Now again, if you are somebody who would like to be submitting your application in a very thorough way and submit a case study with your application, I will be releasing a case study template, and if you register for the wait list on the case study template, you will get a 30% discount for when I actually release it. Now again, if you are interested in registering onto that wait list, please do not forget to check the link in the description box below, because that will take you exactly to the page where you can fill in your details and will be on the wait list. Step number 5 is that once you've completed your application and got registered with HCPC, you then need to start looking for jobs. Now the two websites that I recommend are Track Jobs website and NHS Jobs website. But other than these, if you are looking for jobs in Scotland, obviously NHS Scotland has a job website as well. Now, while the NHS can be the biggest sponsor of healthcare jobs in the UK, they are not the only healthcare sponsors. There are several other private companies that are willing to sponsor your visa. So if you are interested in making applications to those private companies, I would highly recommend searching for jobs on LinkedIn, read.co.uk and glassdoor.co.uk. Now, again, if you want to know how to make these job applications, how to write up a CV, there are several free videos on my YouTube channel segregated in playlists to make it easy for you. I'll leave the links for them somewhere above, but in the description box below. But also, feel free to book a one-to-one session with me where we can go through all of the steps that you need in order to make a good application or a good CV for your private jobs. Now, if you've successfully made good applications, most likely, fingers crossed, you will be called for an interview really soon. So once you reach that interview stage, what typically happens is you will have a panel of 2 to 3 people asking you questions in the interview. Do not be intimidated. This is very normal within the UK, but there are 2 to 3 people taking your interview. As a part of that interview, you might be selected or you might be rejected. In any case, I would highly recommend asking for feedback. Feedback will help you prepare not only for the next interviews, but will also give you an understanding on which questions you need to build up more experience or get more clarity in answering these questions. Now, as a part of the interview process, say for example, you are selected. As a part of this, you will be asked to complete some pre-employment checks. Now, once you've completed them, you will be issued the COS, which is the Certificate of Sponsorship. You then have to use this certificate of sponsorship in order to apply for your UK work visa. Now, the UK work visa can either be the UK skilled worker visa, or for most of us, it will be the health and care worker visa if you are a healthcare professional. Now, there are very specific occupations which come under the shortage occupation list and which qualify for the health and care worker visa. I would again recommend checking out the link in my description box below, where it will tell you if you are eligible to apply for the health and care worker visa. And if you are, please make sure that you have asked your employer or the HR from your employer to mention on the COS that you are eligible to apply under the health and care worker visa, because if this is not clearly mentioned and you apply under that category, there might be chances for your visa to be questioned a bit more. So I would highly recommend getting this stated very clearly on your COS. And that's it. That was literally the final step, because once you've applied for your visa, hopefully under the health and care worker visa, they reply to most visas and your decision letter comes nearly within a week, which is fantastic news for most of us. But through that, what essentially happens is once you've got your visa sorted out, you can then fly to the UK. Another query that a lot of people come to me with is, Nikita, on my COS, my joining date is mentioned as maybe say 12th of January, but I'm actually applying for my visa only on the 1st of January. What do you think is going to happen? Is my employer going to question me on why I haven't come in yet? And the answer is, please do not be stressed about it. A lot of the HRs in the trusts within the UK try to put a date so that the UK Home Office can actually expedite the process and grant your visa faster. So don't be stressed if your starting date is within the next week of your course being granted. It's absolutely fine, because the HRs do understand that the process might take a bit of time and will accommodate for it. Following your visa application, what tends to happen is that you will be given an unconditional offer letter. Whatever is the date on that unconditional offer letter is actually your start date. So please do not be worried or stressed about it. That's it from today's video. If you have any more questions about what is the process or what else needs to be done, please do let me know in the comment section below, and I will try to make another video about this. But this was a sort of whistle-stop tour, an overview of what is the process as a allied health professional or as any healthcare professional to come and work in the UK. I hope you found this useful, guys, and if you did, don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Take care.